I'm never in between, I'm either hot or cold. Can't be a loser, I maneuver like I got a clone. I'm out here in these streets like I ain't got a home. And you barely hear from me like I ain't got a phone. Because there's no days off, there's no days off. I know it sounds a little painful, but it pays off. Social sites was distracting.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, second-year quarterback Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans take on Alex Smith and the Washington Redskins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Just a few moments ago, it was the Redskin defense being introduced, and the largest cheers went for their Pro Bowl cornerback, Josh Norman, as he and his guys get set to do battle with the Houston Texans. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. Now a carry here for Terrence West. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
To throw on second is Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Watson on 3rd down. Caught here by Griffin. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let him down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff him for a loss. And he gets it down to the 32. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Well, of course, you want to find the end zone, but, you know, you go on the road, you get 3 points. I think you take it.
Yeah, pretty good start to the day for them, don't you think? Right? You go out there, get the 3 points. Now, look, it's not going to silence this crowd, but it might take a little bit of steam out of them right off the top.
They'll run with Thompson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They run it here with Thompson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here's Smith. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, Watson. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Pernell McPhee. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long after that sack. What does Watson have in his arsenal? Here's Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Leckler now on as he'll punt this away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear. It's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Richardson. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. On 3rd down, that's Thompson. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Smith Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jadeveon Clowney. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. First catch of the game for Hopkins. It's a 1st down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll be marked down deep in Washington territory. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Watson hands this to Foreman, and he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
He hits West underneath. And he has the 1st down before he's tackled at the 5. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
He'll get it up the middle and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Here's Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Texans will extend their lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third.
And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it, and the Texans scoop it. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning.
The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Alex Smith and the offense heading out for their next possession. He has not had the game that he envisioned. His team has not had the game that they've envisioned here. So how do they turn this around now?
Well, right now, what he's looking forward to doing is finding a way to get the added weight on his back. Is it like that monkey that Steve Young was talking about? Remember that in the Super Bowl?
Oh, the 95 Super Bowl.
Right, when they beat the Chargers, and, you know, he had that weight of expectations and past greats on his back. In this case, it's just bad play. Can he shake it off and then be able to play loose and free and help his team out?
Let's see if he can do just that. On 2nd down, here's Smith. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
To throw is Smith. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he stopped immediately there. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here's Smith on third down. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. Now a play fake here on first down. An incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one,
and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. Now Watson going deep for Hopkins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's Smith. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he going to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. To throw on second down is Smith. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now Smith, and he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. DJ Reader busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Now Smith to throw on second down. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On first down, Smith. And this is going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
2nd and 10, Smith again. fights loose. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Throwing again is Smith. Jordan Reed has it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Crowder's got it over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Smith throwing again. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal forward pass, offense.
So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll at least get on the board here, still trailing, but 16-3 now. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. And no run back here. This will be a touchback. And here come the Redskins now. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Smith now to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going, and also you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his third touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Andre Howell, the one to bring him down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
On the ground, it's Thompson. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now it's Smith, and that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now a look at Will Fuller as he and the rest of the offense gears up to get ready to go again. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. A quick throw, but incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. To throw is Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 41. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Now Thompson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Smith. Caught on the right side. Reed. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
To throw on 3rd down. Smith. Now they go screen. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. The 20, 10, and put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
On first down, this is Geis. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. The Redskins on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Smith, and he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Back to throw, Smith. That's complete, right around the 8. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Chris Thompson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short.
Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. Watson. And he finds his man Griffin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the pressure legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
They'll try the air now with Watson. Escaping the pressure right, and he'll go down at the 28. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The Texans on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Muscles him off. On the catch, it's Crowder. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This is 3rd and 4. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Smith on first down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it a second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To the air again, Smith. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On 3rd down, it's Thompson. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Texans scoop it. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. A strong running. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeout in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Watson now to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run with Foreman. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. A carry for Foreman, and he'll go down at the 28. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They go play action here on first down. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Zach Brown able to run him down for a loss of a yard.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
There's several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Throwing on third down, Watson eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Here's Smith. He's got his man. This is Dodson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Smith finding Dodson that time for a Washington first.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. To throw on second down is Smith. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. On first down, it's Smith. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd and 10, Smith throwing the out route incomplete. It's Richardson. And on 3rd and inches, we're going to get a whistle and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Again, Smith. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Texans defense stands tall. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter